Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. There's the tinker. Legends, welcome back to the channel. John here. I'm in the garage with Dad and the Royal Snail. Thousands of you have watched the video of Dad diagnosing it and basically saying, I think the timing chain is gone. And then loads more of you have watched the video where we've taken the timing chain cover off and yeah, it's eaten itself. Worst case scenario is that we need to rebuild that engine, that it's bent valves and damaged pistons and broke rockers and all sorts of stuff. Loads of you have said that actually in this engine, the 1.3 multi-jet, it just does minimal damage. It breaks rockers and maybe spins a few cams. We're not experts, by the way, on the 1.3 multi-jet, so thanks to everyone that has commented and sent us some advice. In this video, we'll have a chat with Dad. He's been working on the van for a couple of days and continue to try and repair the Royal Snail. Hello, mate.
Morning, Squire.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm good, mate.
There was just a brief interlude there because I dropped your microphone under here and it sort of stuck itself to the back of the compressor.
Everything tends to go down there.
So I've had to do a bit of gymnastics first thing this morning, which was an interesting experience. We're back with the Snail then. And actually you've had the Snail in the garage for the past couple of days. I bought in the last video a toolkit. Where's my toolkit? Core. Here it is.
Charming to imitate.
Yes. It was 20 quid this, and it's basically a timing chain repair toolkit. I think this is basically, you lock the cams into place with that, is that right?
Yep.
And then this is to lock, what's that for?
The instructions say it's for the crank, but it's not.
Right.
I've got a different one in there. That's in
Okay,
the crank.
fair enough. And this is for actually timing up the...
No, that's for holding the front pulley.
Oh, front pulley, and this is for timing up the cams?
That's for timing the crank when you've got the engine out.
Right, okay, so we're not going to get that far, hopefully. But anyway, we've bought that kit. It was £20. We've also then bought a timing chain kit, which is in here. It's an APEC. Yes, it's cheap and cheerful. It was 50 quid, but it's not a napper, so don't shout at us. And in the previous video, our thoughts was, let's buy a timing chain and stick it on the van.
Yeah.
Full disclosure then, and we can't show people in this video, but you just couldn't bloody help yourself, could you? You couldn't wait for the production crew.
I've had it timed up, I've had the chain hung on it, and it's low on compression on this cylinder.
Right, okay. So you've put the new timing chain on the...
And I've turned it over.
On the van. You've done the work with the engine, and yeah, as you say, it's... So how have you worked out that it's low compression? You've turned it on and it's spluttered, or what?
No. I made an adapter for my car.
What? Hang on a minute, let's have a look at that.
Screws in a glow plug hole.
Yeah.
I can put my car one on it, and when I cranked it over once, that number 4 cylinder's low on compression.
Okay. So
long story short though, just by turning the cams, when you can feel them, when you turn them over, the valves have got a position where they go no weight on them, and you can turn it over, that's all right, turn it over, that's all right, turn it over, oh, that feels a bit queer, turn that over, that feels all right. There's something don't feel right with one of the
cams. So
everybody says we're going to have a bent crack rocker. All the videos I've watched, even if they're not totally failed, they've got little cracks in them.
So again,
it's not worth putting it together and then having to take the damn thing to pieces.
Well, that was our theory, wasn't it? Was going to put a timing chain on it and see if we got away with it. So
yeah.
let's just talk us through it, because I'm an idiot when it comes to these things. We've got the injectors and we've got the cam. It is twin cam, isn't it? It's got, you know,
all this bit comes off in big lump with some gears there.
There's some gears. We've seen pictures on the internet. I've had a good old look at it. And we've spoken to thousands of people who have commented that say, I used to work on these, I know these engines, you're going to get away without having bent valves, X, Y, and Z, but they are designed to crack the rockers. Yeah. Now, what are rockers? We'll see them in this video, but what are they?
One end sits on the hydraulic self-adjuster.
Yeah.
The other end sits on the valve,
yeah,
and the cam presses on top of it.
And it goes ding, 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 ding. Okay.
So I'm guessing it's still working, but I reckon some of them, it's not worth putting it together, then now it failed again on us, is it?
Yep, no, absolutely.
We're going to have to take the sump off, we're going to take the timing cover off,
yep,
we're going to do all this again, so let's do it while we're here.
So basically, this video is going to be us taking the cam carrier off, or cam cover off, and seeing what has broken.
Yeah. Long story short, you cleaned that out in there, but I've cleaned it all out again, and I've been cleaning it, and I've been cleaning it, and I've been cleaning it, and I've still got some dirt there I want to shift from there. But
It's because the worst thing we can do now is get dirt in this engine.
it's getting, well, big bits in the bores, but little bits in the injectors.
Right, because that will...
something thinner than a human hair or bugger an injector.
Right, okay, and then that is bad
I've seen
news.
better mechanics than me get muck in them and blooming. Anyway, so I'll use my Renault sealing kits.
Yeah.
And in the ideal world, we should have pressure washed it, but we can't very well now with it all in bits. But
No.
so we're going to clean it up. There's a bit more muck there I want to shift.
We're going to just be careful. We're going to be cautious, aren't we? There's absolutely no rush. But the good news is we are attempting at least to fix the snail.
We are going to fix the snail. We are.
I like that optimism. Thumbs up for Dad's optimism.
Everything's plugged up, look, even the spill pipes are plugged up.
Yeah, you've put all these things on here.
Yeah.
And all here. And actually, you was telling me you found another problem on the van that you've fixed along the way.
Yeah, this pipe had been bodged up with some...
This pipe.
Yeah.
It's like a fuel pipe, is it?
Yeah, but it had been on the corner, it had this bit of plastic rubber pipe.
Yeah.
But when you tighten Jubilee clips on this stuff, it squashes it.
Yeah, of course.
And it was leaking actually while it was stood there.
Leaking fuel?
Yeah, because I've been messing about with it. So I found this amongst my junk, and I've put that elbow on there so now we can join it there.
Okay, good.
Because these things have been apart a few times and they're starting to deteriorate.
The only thing I know wrong with the van is down here we've got a bit of a coolant leak. And
Yeah, don't let me forget to do that while we've got the coolant out.
Okay, we'll do that while we've got the coolant out. Do you think then, looking at what you can see in your diagnosis, that this engine has been apart before?
No.
So you think that the timing chain that has snapped is the original timing
It's
chain?
been to bits, mate.
Fine. So 155,000 miles, not ideal, should last a life.
People say they pack up at about 80.
Yeah, so the fact that we've got that out of it, I think is a bonus. It's been neglected, my van, in its life, not by us, but by potentially previous owners. It is not a Royal Mail van. So everyone's saying, oh, you'll have to do this and this and this, and they get thrashed. Well, just to give you the history of the van, it was built for Royal Mail as like a tester van, so to speak, as like a display van, as in a, do you want to buy the Fiat Doblo? And then they bought the next model up. So they never actually used an 09 plate Doblo, the Royal Mail. So this was built as sort of a showpiece, so to speak. It is now.
Bloody showpiece, all right.
So here we go, we're taking off.
I'm just loosening a few things.
I'm going to shout out a few people right now. Mechanic Garage, shout out to him, bless him, who has said, John, if you can get the snail to my house and Dad doesn't fancy doing an engine swap, grab an engine and I'll put it in for you. So shout out to Mechanic Garage. He's trying to steal our content.
He's short on content.
I'll tell you one thing. So many people have messaged me saying, don't scrap that van, John, I'll buy it from you. Well, sorry to say that the snail is not for sale.
If we can't... Oh, it's got coffee there.
Yeah, it's my
if we
coffee.
can't fix it, they can have it.
If we can't fix it, they can have it. Is that what we're saying? Yeah. Fine. They are. Dad's confident. We're going to fix the snail.
No, I'm... oh, I'm sorry, mate, I can't fix it.
Or this is an ulterior motive, you get rid of the snail. No, you see, you say, and you know, the snail is the best car in my fleet.
It was.
It was until last week.
So you went to look at some blooming piece of crap Proton.
Oh, now you're going to upset me Malaysians.
No, because it's an English Proton.
It is, yeah. There will be a video coming to the channel of me going to look at the Stevens Cypher Proton prototype. Never meet your heroes, that's all I'm going to say.
All these let to be really thoroughly cleaned when we put it back together.
Is that a fuel rail, is it?
That's the pipe from the pump to the rail.
So whilst Dad's taking that apart, I'm going to take this time to shout out a couple of people who I will not name, but they have sent me auto data documentation. They've got access to auto data on how to time the van up and how to do all that sort of stuff. So if you have sent me and Dad some documents, loads of you have, and help and advice and tips and tricks, then thank you. You are all absolute legends.
I was optimistic to read one fella who says, I used to work for Royal Mail, I've fixed hundreds on them.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of people telling us it'll have broken a rocker, but you'll be all
It
right.
sounds, some of them folks are as familiar with them as I am with Rover K series.
Should we do a Rover K series plant?
No,
It would have been bonkers to put an engine transplant in this, but
I'm not going to do that sort of work.
we're not going to do that sort of job.
Not blinking likely.
I'm thinking Proton 1.5 Mitsubishi engine. Well, the big hit from the previous video is you saying not that much inertia, you bell end.
Who, me? Just a bit wary of this because all this old plastic is going to be a bit fragile, isn't it?
So just so we know which pipe goes where, we're marking them. 1, 2,
I'm not familiar
3,
with them. If I was
and 4.
familiar with it, I should know, shouldn't
Are
I?
you marking this as well? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Are you aware?
I think
Well, we've
we've got
documented it now. It's on the
I think
video.
we've got a rough idea that number one's that end. If it's a Renault, number one's the other end.
I knew you'd have already done this, which is to drill this out where the coolant bottle sits. Oh, what's that? You've built a
I've bodged that.
bracket.
That exhaust bracket was busted.
You just can't help yourself, can you? You're in an engineer, just wants to do the job.
You crack on, grommet. These aren't very good fit.
So we're putting these in freezer bags just to try and stop them from getting grub and dirt and all sorts of stuff in
Not
them.
exactly the cleanest place in the world in here, is it?
Engine rebuild ASMR.
What does
What?
AMSR?
I don't know what it means. It means listen to this and it sounds nice. So now to take the fuel rail off. We should be broadcasting. We should be doing engine rebuild live.
Right.
You know how Chris Packham does Spring Watch live.
Oh, Mr. Packham.
We should do Snail Watch live.
Yeah, sure.
Fuel rails off then. Export call in. Take the high pressure pump off, which is the fuel injection pump.
Pumpus highest precious.
Pumpus highest pressurus. Is it best practice to replace that while we're here?
No,
Why?
because you're wasting money. You'd be wasting monies.
So not budget friendly.
No.
You won the lottery or something, blooming aerial tablets. Crikey. Always close the back with a click clack. What are you putting in there?
That's for the injection pump. That one's for the vacuum pump.
Out comes the pump. How's it looking?
Looks like I'm going to just leave it hanging there.
Okay. Here she comes.
Some muck fell in there. That's hardly big enough, is it?
So now we should be able to see into the end of the engine, is that right? Here we go, let's have a look in there. We should be able to see them. Cogs, I was going to say, but...
There's the gears that drive the one cam drives the other.
Ah! Engine stuff. Now we can work towards getting that cam cover off.
Nuts
Special nuts.
and a special washer.
So we're carefully taking out the injectors, making sure there's no poo. I hope there's no poo, but hopefully there's no dirt going to fall into the engine there. Let's have a look. Oh, there's the injector, look. That's a long old injector. I've never seen an injector that long.
Pintel's mucky.
The what? What in the what now?
Pintel's mucky.
The pintle. Yeah. Put it on the pintle place.
I need something to put over the end of that, really.
Get yourself a pintle cap. Now comes injector number 2. Looking okay.
Number 3.
Oh yeah, of course, beg your pardon. Well, number 3, but it's number 2.
We're working arse about face. It's amazing these injectors come out so easy.
Have you pre-authorised their removal?
Would I?
I knew you couldn't help yourself. Go on then, how difficult were they to loosen off?
Not too bad.
No, fine. Worst case scenario is I'm guessing you snap one in there or cross thread it, or how are they screwed in?
The washer stayed in there. That one's still got its washer in the hole.
Right, fair enough.
They just held in with them clamps up against, but that washer's come out.
Okay, remember that then.
That washer's still in the hole.
And out comes number one, which is, well, number 4. 2 of the washers have stayed in sort of the car or the van. Will we be able to see them when we take the cover off?
We should be a bit closer, shan't we?
Well, now then, as you can see, fuel rail is off, pumps are off, injectors are out. It's time to take the head off.
No, we're not taking the head off.
No, you know what I mean.
I'm moving the bloody production crew out of the mechanicking crew. The production crew are not wanted.
There's a reason I'm the production crew, because I have no idea what I'm talking about.
As it happens, real time.
Real time, you've not loosened these off previously.
No.
Good news. Engine Repair Live. Who are you having present Engine Repair Live?
Alan Millyard.
Alan Millyard, yeah, nice guy.
The trouble with Alan Millyard is he'd be taking over. Come out of the way.
Come out the way, I've built this
Incompetent.
V6 adapter. Out they come. So why are you not using your impact driver on there?
Conventional. Some conventional mechanicking. Right, old school.
So we're now old school mechanicking live with Alan Millyard.
Alan Millyard doesn't use impact drivers.
I bet his production crew's better than ours.
Does it yourself?
So do we. Is it wrong that I'm excited to see what's under here?
No. So am I.
What are you expecting to see?
Engine bits.
Engines.
So what we're going to see in here...
So in theory, it's ready to go. Here it comes. Here's the moment of truth. Wow. You're looking at the good stuff before me.
Right.
Now we can see it.
Oh, I see, those little clips. Oh, it's like that, is it? Well, there's no bloody obvious, is there? Oh, here's one. Here's one.
Is it?
Yeah, just a minute, let me put that back in there. That one, yeah.
Hey!
Not wasting no time then.
Hey!
That'll do, mate.
There it is. There's the tinker. Oh, that's answered the question, hasn't it? So that is cylinder 4, isn't it, there?
Yep.
And that's where we've got no compression.
No, low compression.
Low compression. Because, get out the way, mechanic.
Yeah.
Production crew's coming in. It snapped the bloody rocker.
Yeah. That one snapped. That one snapped.
Yeah, I can see it there.
That
Look,
one's
it's
snapped.
cracked across there.
Yeah, I'll just look at all the others, but yeah, I'm pleased.
I'm pleased we've done this job, mate.
There you go.
Well, nice. Yes, sir. That's your problem. 2 cracked rockers on the Snail. So now I'm going to ask Dad to explain to us just how the engine works and why it's done what it's done. Engine Mechanicking 101.
This
Go
is
on
the
then.
Ladybird Book of the Internal Combustion Engine.
Yeah.
I did have one of them. Right, so here we've got, that's the middle of the crankshaft.
Yeah.
That's one of the webs of the crankshaft.
Yeah.
That's got a con rod stuck to it,
Yeah.
which is fastened to the piston.
Pistons.
Right. As the engine goes, right, so that's turning that way. This piston comes down, and this at the moment is stupid because that's the inlet valve.
Yeah.
Right, that comes down, that inlet valve's open, yeah?
Yeah.
Comes down, sucks in air and fuel.
Yep.
Yep. Comes down, and it comes back up, and both these shut,
Yes.
and it compresses the mixture.
Yes.
Gets to the top,
Bang.
it's compression ignition, so it heats up, bang, forces this down again, turns that round again, right? That's the end of the power stroke. Then you've got the exhaust stroke. So this comes back up again, right?
Yeah.
That valve opens, and lets the exhaust out. So we've got suck, squeeze, compress, suck, squeeze, bang, blow, comes down again, and then exhaust.
Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
So suck, coming down, that valve's open, right?
Yeah.
That valve's shut. Squeeze, both valves are shut, yeah?
Yeah.
Bang, both valves are still shut. Comes down and back up again, that valve opens and lets out the spent gases.
So that...
it'll all start again. But what happens is, if these stop turning, one of these is open and it's coming up on its compression.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bonk. It bends it. It hits it.
Yeah.
And then big problem in the engine world. So there wasn't, when I said we've had this discussion, there wasn't any noise of clattering. I would have probably heard the pistons hitting the valves.
Well, you're just travelling at motorway speeds, weren't you? If you'd have been in the garage. This isn't wound up very much. I've heard some that's whacked every blinking valve.
So, what was that? I just fell over something. So at the moment, without giving it a proper dose of looking at, we think that we've got 1, 2 cracked rockers.
Yeah.
On cylinder 4. Now, you've done a compression test on 1, 2 and 3. Does that mean you are confident that 1, 2 and 3 are okay?
No, I'm going to give them a good looking at.
Yeah. Would it have run? If we'd put a timing chain kit on it, put it all back together
I bet it
and
would.
fired it up?
It'd run on 3 cylinders, wouldn't it?
It would have, but it would obviously misfired like hell. And
Well, the problem is, all this flapping about in here is going to cause damage, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So I think what the plan is, I'm going to put the kettle on.
Yeah.
You're going to give it a good dose of looking at, and then we're going to formulate a shopping list.
Too blooming right.
It'll be back together by tea time.
Let's start this end and have a good look. Your eyes are better than mine, John boy.
So right, I can tell you what everyone's going to say.
Oh,
why don't you replace the whole bloody lot whilst you're there? It's a good question. Why don't we? Are these all the same, apart from one that's cracked, or 2 that's cracked? Are they all the same things? It's not like they're not tapered differently. They're not. This goes in 1, this goes in 2.
They're all the same.
They're all the same thing.
Yeah, they're quite worn, dude. Can you see all the wear where this is in the end of the valve? And I was watching an Irishman doing one of these, and they had worn that much. That bit there, right, was hitting these
spring things. These are the valve holders, aren't they?
It's
valve compression springs.
This middle bit had worn that much that these arms was rubbing against here.
Wow.
After seeing that,
we're putting a whole set on them.
Yeah.
We're putting a whole set on.
There's visible wear.
Hang on, hold that up so I can have a look.
There's visible wear on the end of that rocker, look.
There you are. Right, so we're replacing them.
We'll have a good...
So in there is visible wear, isn't
There
it?
is.
In there, right, okay.
There is, mate, definitely.
What are you doing there?
Just seeing how big that lip is, and it's not just a mark, you know, it's
quite far out.
Well, there's wear, isn't there?
Well, the poor old van's done 100 and something thousand miles.
Let's try something.
You've done some quick maths, what you worked out?
There's 15,000 wear on them rockers.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Suboptimal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Let's buy a rocker kit, please. I've still got to ask the question, mate.
Yeah.
Why has the timing chain snapped?
I don't know.
It's just gone. And those are the people that will be saying, well, there will have been signs, there will have been a noise, there will have been a rattle. As an engineer and a mechanic, can you just confirm to those people, the Snail was running nicely?
It certainly wasn't rattling. There's all sorts of bits of metal in here. There's all sorts of bloody bits of rocker in here.
Right, we've got to be careful with that then. You're using your magneto.
There's a little rollers out the rockers, look. We'll have a good old scrat round in there. Make sure there's no doubts.
So we know that the rockers are no good.
Well, they've got
And we know that we've got to replace them.
There's even more wear on that.
The next thing we need to work out is, has the valves bent, right?
Like I say, that Irishman, his was worn that much in the middle.
Yeah.
Instead of that touching on the end of the valve, these were touching the...
You keep referring to the Irishman. Is this a YouTube video you've watched?
Yeah, it was a good one. It was...
So you've done your research then?
Well, I've been watching people fiddling about with these. Yeah. But my next plan is to just spin these round out the way.
So you're looking at the end of the valves, which are held into the head there.
Can you see the wear on them?
Well, I can't because your rag's in the way.
But it's only visible.
Let's have a look at that. Well, there's someone at the door.
Can you see the marks?
I can see the marks.
But I'm not going to panic.
So to replace those valves would be a head-off job, wouldn't it?
I think we're getting a bit silly.
I think we're getting a little bit
we're not trying to make it like new, are we?
in depth there.
What I'm looking for, John boy, is some valves that are not going up and down.
So now you're checking to see if the valves are working.
Yeah, and it's timed up. And this, when you time this up, all the pistons are halfway. So we need a piston.
So if they were bent, they wouldn't be going up and down?
They'd go down, but not up again.
Right. So far, so good. Well, from listening to that and looking at that, I don't think there's any valve problems.
Well, there's nothing a mile out, is there? There's definitely some differences, but there will be.
I suppose the main two that I would look at...
I know, and they're the main two that's a bit further down.
Are they?
Yeah. But that one's further down. So it's sitting on. That one's a bit down. That one's a bit down. But there's nothing... I wouldn't think there's any bent valve. That one's a bit down. No.
No bent valves.
It sounds...
That's what we're calling it, isn't it?
There's nothing obvious.
Good. Good news.
That'll do.
Cup of tea.
It'll do.
We're writing a shopping list then. So at the moment, a full set, a full kit of adjusters and lifters, a rocker cover gasket, a vacuum pump gasket, injector washers, oil filter, fuel filter, oil, and I'm going to put here coolant as well.
I don't think we need these things. Honestly, these hydraulic things, I think they'll be all right. Rockers.
Yep.
Cam cover gasket.
Yep.
Injector sealing washers.
Yep.
Oil filter.
Yep.
And...
Fuel filter.
Yep. Yeah, fuel filter. And vacuum pump gasket.
Good. SHOPPING. We're shopping. Right, let's see how much that's going to cost. Right, I've been shopping. I've ordered these parts. They've all come from all over the place. Sadly, that was the cheapest quote from our local automotive factor just for the set of rockers. £79 for the rockers, £10 for the gasket, vacuum pump gasket, I don't know, £15, injector washers £5 and an oil filter £7. So what's that, 120 quid? £120 plus the timing chain kit that we've bought and the tool kit. So far, well, we're £220 into the repair. I'm okay with that. Dad's cleaning out the engine. It's best practice every now and again to take your rocker cover off and just hoover out your engine. There may be some oil in there, there may be some debris. Just give it a bit of a spring clean. You may see that Dad has got the Royal Snail covered up here. I've asked him the question, it's so people can't look down his drive apparently and see that the snail is in here. It's entombed. Now the good news is all the cams look like they're okay. It doesn't look like there's any damage to any of the lobes. Right, then that's it, job done for the day. I'll go home and leave you to it. I suppose we've got to wait for the shopping to arrive. Or is there some stuff we need to do?
some cleaning to do.
I've had a quick look at this. I can't see any damage to the cams, can you? Just give it an inspection.
Inspection.
We need the cam inspector. Obviously we can't spin them over, that's the problem. Cams look good then.
See, that's why. See, that wasn't getting a cam signal when you sent me those pictures.
Yep.
Scanning.
Why wasn't that getting a signal then?
Because this
wasn't turning.
Yeah.
What is it you're looking for on the cams?
That being a different colour, so as it's gone through the case hardening.
Yep. And obviously this would be cylinder 4 here, wouldn't it?
This mate.
So the shock would have damaged the cams potentially.
Well, now some cars, the cams are pressed together, and when they have a problem, they
Shatter.
bit twists.
Yep.
This isn't like that. It's a solid cam, but there's no damage to there. I reckon when they designed this engine, they said these timing chains are a bit tilly-willy. We better put a safety device in.
And the safety device
It's
is...
like glorified push bike chain.
Well, yeah, if you look at it, it's just, yeah, as you say, glorified push bike chain.
I've got one somewhere. Let's see if I've got one.
What, a push bike chain?
I'll show you something. See if I don't know if I've still got one. That's a timing chain.
Yeah, devil! Look at that. So that's like a twin timing chain. So I'm guessing if one of those fails... Yeah, what's that from then?
It's something off a Peugeot, I should think.
A diesel Peugeot?
Yeah.
What?
I've a kind of feeling it's not actually the timing chain, it's probably drives something else.
Question, you've never owned a Peugeot diesel?
I worked in a Peugeot garage, didn't I?
Well, back in
No, it can't be.
1982,
Made
mate.
in England. Made in England.
Well, you know you moan at me for keeping rubbish.
It's been made into a tool.
Oh, what is it then?
It's welded to a socket so you can put it round stuff and turn it.
Oh, I see. I wondered why you'd kept a 1980s Peugeot timing chain.
No, but it's not, is it? I don't know what it's off.
We've digressed because we were looking at cams.
Yeah, but that's a timing chain.
Call that a timing chain?
This
is a timing chain.
Anyway,
Let's carry on looking at the cams. Was about there.
They're fine, aren't they? They're
Good.
Absolutely fine.
Well, that's some good news.
Where's that bloody tool? And that tool fits in there. Slots horizontal. Turn that round.
Could you just whacked an Allen key in there? Or did you need to have the special £20 toolkit I bought?
We needed it to hold the
Yeah.
crank and what have you.
For 20 quid, it's worth the job.
Yeah, let's face it, it's just a copy of a blooming
Yeah.
Sealy one or something, isn't
And
it?
then when we do the chain again, next week, we know what we're doing. So we're pretty much stuck now, aren't we, until the parts arrive.
Yeah.
There are some little twiddly bits that we can do in the interim, which is clean out all the injector holes and make sure everything's nice and clean. We're going to clean the cams off, etc, etc. We need an ultrasonic parts washer.
we do not.
Or a dishwasher.
We do not.
But let's face it, at least we know what is wrong with the van. And to quote your catchphrase, we're not wasting our time.
We're not wasting our time, definitely not. I'm blooming pleased we didn't put it all together and see that it run wrong and I've got to take it all to bits again. Tell you what we can do when we're putting this together, we'll sort that exhaust out at the back.
Yes.
That's a job to do. When
That's a job.
But the damn exhaust's off now, we can sort it out.
Well, there you have it then. Dad has had to take the rocker cover off and we are happy that we did because we're not wasting our time. As we said, we found those cracked rockers. Amazingly, only 2 of them have cracked, but for the sake of £5 a rocker, we've noticed that where we're going to do the job properly. All new rockers incoming. Should everything come to fruition and all the parts that we've ordered arrive on time, the van could be resurrected on Easter Sunday. I like that. That's a nice little little fitting thing for the van, and I might even buy Dad a hot cross bun. Thanks to everyone that's commented. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed. I hope you're enjoying this and will continue to enjoy the engine rebuild on the Royal Snail. Until next time, have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you later.